Hello. Today I'm going to talk about my musical uh, discoveries lately. It has been very cold here in Bergen, as it also has been all over the northern Europe. The first days of January, and it's also been snowing. And it may be a coincidence because last time it was like this, it was 4 year 5 years ago in 2001, and also then I fell into one of these rabbit holes, which I have fallen into this time. Last time it was the krautrock scene in Germany, uh, which I was like I was totally absorbed with this for many days, uh, even weeks. And actually, I've wrote something like wrote an essay about my discoveries in that field, and this time it has been a bit different because I have been after I fell into the krautrock rabbit hole, I got more aware of this Canterbury scene in England at the same time in the 70s, and but it's that scene which have been my main occupation as a music listener now for the last week, I guess. Um, but that doesn't mean that I didn't have any experience with it before, um, because I knew I had a kind of little dip into the whole with when I discovered Kevin Ayers. I think that was last year. And I listened to a lot of his albums. I saw some live footage on YouTube, and yeah, and also I had one time I that was some years ago, maybe a couple of years ago, maybe last year. I don't remember. I had um, I wanted to listen to some of some. I just um, compelled myself to listen to the band Soft Machine, which also is from this scene, the Canterbury scene, and that was only to sort of check it out. But it was it's very it's not like music for beginners. This I think the krautrock is more like it's easier to like krautrock, at least some of the bands, than Canterbury, because Canterbury is they have these jazz influences, and also this um, very avant-garde like music that Soft Machine was doing. And also Gong is another band that have tried to listen to, and they have have a very interesting story, and also the album covers and album titles, and so I have done some. I was prepared a little bit, but it never felt like I was falling into this rabbit hole, which uh, which is kind of a very state I like to be in, because it's like coming to a new place. You want to listen to the music and the bands and learn everything about the members and stuff. But this time it's a bit more smoother. And what made me fall into it was a band called Caravan, because I'm following a music channel with an American musician, YouTube channel, uh, and he is doing some interviews once in a while with with musicians from all over the world, and he got hold of one of the key one of the leaders of the band Caravan last week, and it was a very strange interview, but it was like he was uh, he was just like a musician, uh, and it was like a very, of course he is a musician, and but he was very like open-minded, and very he's man in the 70s, in the late 70s, and he yeah, he talked with this American uh, YouTuber. uh, they had two talks, and yeah, he was just like one would could imagine an elderly, like prog rocker, because this is prog music, would be like in the now, because they started in the 70s and now they're old, and he was living in the south of Italy, and yeah, and uh, definitely not a luxurious life. He had bought a house there, and was he was also a carpenter, and he was trying to fix things there, but that made me check out the band Caravan, which I've heard of and probably also heard music of once in a while, because I was before I was listening to alternative radio here in Norway, and I guess it must have been played then once in a while. But the album that I started listening to was an album called "The Land of Grey and Pink," and uh, yeah, and that was just smashing. Every song is like yes, it's very melodic, and yeah, the lyrics are like very like fantastic, like they in the way that they are in a way yeah, like this more like Alice in Wonderland feeling about them. I have never been into like bands like Genesis and Yes, and Emerson Lake Palmer. I was never into that, but So I had to listen more to Caravan, and then I listened to another album called Waterloo Lily, which also was splendid. Um, very like in the same vein as In the Land of Grey and Pink. I listened to the album before um, The Land of Grey and Pink with a very nice cover of the band, like settled in the some forest and but yeah, that was not. I didn't like that so much, but then there is a band called Hatfield and the North, which I also had to check out, and that was the project that Richard Sinclair, the the musician that was talking to this American YouTuber, which is also he is also a musician, and actually I have one of his records. He's called Derek Higgins. He's a black guy living in Omaha, which I have been yeah, off and on. I have been like watch have been following his daily reports like for the last at least 4 years, 3 years, but not all the time because. But I think he's into something. I think he's onto something now, especially when he got hold of this like you can call him big musician, like Caravan is a really household name in the history of rock and roll. So it will be very interesting to see what's going to come next because they have already planned another interview, and I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so I checked out Hatfield and the North, and yeah, there was some live footage, and yeah, it's a bit jazz-like, and I but there was an album called Rotter's album which I listened to, and it was okay. And then there was another project that Richard Sinclair got involved with, and that's called Camel. And then I listened to the debut, one of the first albums, and this was before Richard Sinclair was became a member of the band. It was actually from 1971. Very nice cover with the camel, like the camel the on the cigarette boxes. That album was I liked a lot. Camel is actually from Guildford. They're not from Canterbury, but it's south of London. And I was once in Guildford. Was passing through in 1991, summer 1991. I was going to Aldershot to see actually some shoegaze bands playing there. So Chapter House and Thousand Yards There, and a band called Spitfire. So with that, yeah. So yeah. So it's kind of it's not like what happened in 2021 when I was totally like overwhelmed in a bit. by discovering krautrock and how it affected me. But this time it's been more like I know that I am uh, in a rabbit hole, and I have to be thankful to be there because it's a very nice place to be, but also be a bit careful and curious and um, yeah. Um, so I think I do that in a way because I don't want to like it's a very yeah I want to be here for a longer time and in that state of mind in a way that you discover new landscape. Um, I also have to say that I'm not so uh, there are lots of jazz and jazz rock in the crowd in the Canterbury scene, and I'm not too like before. I would that was would probably one of the music genres I have had most difficulties with, but lately uh, I have been more accustomed to that music, and that makes it also easier now to go into this scene. Um, that is because last year I also discovered Norwegian band. I think I've talked about that a bit on one of the other videos. It's called Rufus. They they started as a prog rock band and became more and more jazz rock. So I was kind of a bit in the same rabbit hole but not so much because the, the scene is not so big, but in Norway. But they were the Rufus band. The story of Rufus is really interesting, and yeah. So it's good to have some experience with that kind of music when you listen to the Canterbury scene because there are some jazz rock elements, especially Hatfield and the North. So yeah, so this is just I just felt for like um, talking about this, and maybe I'm going to present the written stuff I have made about the krautrock scene. I've also listened to some krautrock this time, so just to I just felt for it, and I have the same. I have some paths I usually go into, and that is the one with that guy. The He's called Rolf Ulrich Kaiser. He was like one of the key figures in the krautrock scene. Suddenly he disappeared, and he's now totally he and his wife. They are totally like they have no contact with the music scene anymore. So I'm a bit intrigued by that story. So I try to find out if there was any news about them, and yeah, so yeah, and also there is another figure that played in a band called Wallenstein. He is now a leading food critic in Germany, um, Jürgen Dolase, and mm, yeah, so he has a page dedicated to food where he collects all his reviews of different restaurants around Europe and his so it's a total different career, uh, but it's interesting watching these old musicians. Uh, yeah, and listening to them, um, even if even if they do something completely different now. Um, so yeah, I guess I will stop here and take care and have a nice day.